Okay, is everyone here?
Yes,
Hi, Kevin and Catherine, you're here. And who's the last one?
Jill.
That's me, Jill.
Jill. Hi, Jill. So,
Hi.
what were you guys doing in the last session?
What Malcolm said.
Actually, I don't recall elbow to heart, but uh, maybe up till elbow to heart.
Okay, and tell me now. I know Kevin, you've got a knee issue.
Yeah, it's not getting any better, so I've been watching for quite a long time.
Oh my goodness. And what else? And someone else had an issue with an ankle?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
I shattered it. Six.
While watching this, how do you, the two of you how are you taking this information? What's most effective for you?
Um, I guess it's just if we can sort of pick out a chunk to work on. Um, and I think Catherine's a more dedicated student, so I would think she's a little more reliable as to what that chunk would be.
Oh, I think I've got that. Malcolm gave me some input on that.
Okay. And then basically, if you could just kind of go through it and give some sense of how to, like what's happening within the movement.
I'll be doing all of that. My concern is whether the ankle and the knee obstacles that you're facing give you any special, unique needs that I'm not aware of.
Oh, I see that. I am basically it just means I can't uh go to like punch the ground. Ain't no way I'm punching the ground.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
not just the ankle. uh, because yeah, my joints are generally stiff because I have an autoimmune disorder. But I would say it doesn't really necessarily need any special.
Okay.
So do your thing, and then I adjust accordingly. So
Okay.
And,
And
and then for me, Linda, I concentrate on different areas of different people depending on what I see at the moment. So sometimes I just watch the feet. Sometimes I'll just watch, the alignment. Sometimes I'll watch the midline, just the more expressive perhaps.
okay.
Some teachers tend to hide things.
I'm not a hider, so that's good to know. I know with my classes that people sometimes have different issues, frozen shoulder or hip issues. One leg will have more flexibility than another, and I think it's useful to work within the constraints that we have and not push into pain. And I wanted to make sure that that's communicated from me. I don't want anyone to push into pain or through pain. That doesn't work here. Um, the thing I tell my classes all the time is we're here to have fun, and this is de-stressing, and anything that's creating stress, we need to like push that aside.
Yeah, my
Okay.
my motto is no pain is no pain.
No pain. I'm with you. So I'm going to actually try to adjust this. Tell me if I've got it right, okay? My dog wants to be in here. So if I'm here, you can see everything, right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we're going to jump in. I understand you're working toward the end of the 24, and I'm going to back up just a little bit,
Yeah.
so that we can have a little run rate into the work that we're doing, okay? And I would like to encourage you to say stop if you have a question, because,
Okay.
or if you don't want to say stop, just say question here, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so I'm going to take this from repulse monkey, right? So we're going to take it from here. We're going to move backward. We're going to take our steps backward. For those of you who are taking steps, we'll just take 3 because we're working indoors instead of 5. So I'm going to go from the side here. Actually, I'll do it from this side. think that'll make more sense. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and have 3 openings. Remembering to shift weight slightly from foot to foot. Let's do a couple more. Remembering to reach through the top of the head and down through the soles of the feet. So you're fully grounded, feeling the expansion of the palm energy in all directions, feeling the way in which the weight is dropping, but the body is staying long as we on. My dog has decided she's going to observe. She'll tell us if there's anything wrong. Okay, so here we are, and we push away. Filling the lower back. Palms up. 1, 2, 3. China. Palm, loop, side, and step. So we have 3 backward steps. 2, 3. I think of this as like a cartwheel. Cow. And I think we're right about the place where you guys left off. Another step or so. And Michael might have shown you that move. And I'm going to stop there. Is that all familiar territory, or is there some new?
No, no. I mean, yes and no. Yes, because we saw it, but you're doing it like any teacher, you're doing it a little differently. So I was lost. Maybe Jill not, but I was lost.
No, I yeah, it's I think for me it's I need a smaller chunk, but it's
we saw
all kind of familiar, but then I get lost, particularly now with working on my is it my left or my right? Because I'm trying to work with a space that's long but not wide enough.
Yes.
And so when we change the directions, I have to reorient, and then oh man, I get lost.
That is disorienting.
Yeah.
So the little chunk that I've been working on is fan through back through elbow to heart. So it was a little bit short, a lot of bit shorter than I enjoyed it.
Yes. Well, it's a joy to watch you.
Yeah, it is.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've tried to stay as true as I can to my recollection of my years with Master Zhang. I've tried not to change anything and to keep this as standard form, but I know that all of us inevitably have slightly different takeaways or things that in our private lessons were emphasized differently. So inevitably there are some differences. And then I know some of my classmates, some of my peers who are also teachers have taken things into other directions, influenced by other teachers to some degree. So I'm not surprised to hear that there are some differences. But in any case, I'll slow down and work on that and make sure that what I'm showing you is at least explained and articulated well and see how that integrates with what Malcolm is doing.
Okay.
Linda, do you remember that during the 90s, Master Zhang would go back to China once or twice a year?
I do.
She knows what I'm going to say. And when he would come back, he would change everything because Master Feng, who's kind of the originator of this style, was still working on it and still creating it. People think Tai Chi is like, oh, it's an ancient dogma that never changes, but that's not true. It changes all the time. And so we must have, on this form, we must have gone through, what, about 4 revisions. None of them were not major, but there were certainly changes. And when you're trying to learn it, those changes really throw a wrench into the learning process. But on the other hand, it's really good
Yeah.
because you realize you got to stay on your toes, and it's not a matter of memorizing some sacred scripture. It's a more about learning a language. And when you learn the language, you can write different poetry in that language. It's all still the same language.
Absolutely. I always use that also, Malcolm, that analogy of the alphabet that we're learning, and then we can write whatever we want. And I would say that what we're doing is we're embodying Chi and Tai Chi. We're embodying this shape. You know that the shape of this Tai Chi symbol is embedded in all of the movement. I'm sure
Yeah.
Malcolm has talked to you about that.
No, I haven't actually, but I was listening to what. No, I haven't, Linda. So you could fill them in on that. Um, I was listening to what Jill said, feeling a little disoriented, and I know Catherine has that problem too. And Jill's having actually a little left-right dyslexia, which is very common when you do stuff over uh, video like this, because everything's flat, and so something happens in our brains when we do that. And that made me think, not for this class here, but maybe in the future. Linda, do you remember that Master Zhang used to have a little mini form that he would do? It's just the first couple of moves in the form. And you start out and do it in this direction, and then you do it in this direction, then you do it in this direction, then you do it in this direction. So you get the idea. Look, it's not the direction is not sacred. It can be done in any different direction. And in fact, in China, so I understand, they never do it facing the north. They do it facing the east in the morning, the west in the evening, and the south during the day. And so it's actually a good idea when you practice to change your orientation so you just get used to the orientation doesn't come from outside, it comes from inside. And if you can make that shift to understanding that it's like where your Dan Chen is, there's a compass, a 360-degree compass, and you can turn that in any direction, and it's still 360 degrees. All right? So maybe in the future we'll add some of that stuff in and try and obviate some of the natural dyslexia that comes with this.
That is, I think, a real challenge online.
Yeah.
And we do that in my class somewhat regularly because we're outdoors and we're together. and we do the 4 directions so that we can disassociate from the external cues and come back to the internal grounding that you're referring to.
And if you guys want to know what she means about the external cues, try this. And I'm serious about this. This is a real experience. Just do the first 3 movements of the form with your eyes closed. And you will suddenly learn how much of your balance and stability is dependent on visual. And it takes a number of years before, right, before you can get comfortable doing the form with your eyes closed. All right. So Jill, try it with your eyes closed.
All right.
Yeah, we used to do that back in San Francisco, and Adam was the king of the form. I couldn't get through it. What?
Well, it's difficult, especially at first. What you'll find is you will lose your balance immediately. But that just proves how much of our sort of day-to-day sense of orientation and balance is visual, but it doesn't have to be. You can develop really good stability and really good balance by practicing with your eyes closed, and it's not a bad thing to do as time goes on.
And following on that thought, Master Zhang talked a lot about keeping the focus soft. So there are times when the focus is laser pointed, but there are times when you want to really soften the focus because you're operating within the sphere of your reach, if you will. If you want to think of that gyroscope, whatever you want to think of it as, it's just you're operating with a certain space, and you can soften your focus so that you're not staring out at that image way out there, or that tree, or that, that photograph hanging on your wall, but you're right here with your focus, which will help you stay oriented and grounded. And if working with your eyes closed is a challenge, which it is, try softening your focus as well as another option.
Yeah.
So let's take a
So
look.
you guys go ahead. I'm going to mute myself again.
Okay. So let's take a look at the moves starting from the reach out. I'm going to step back so you can see me. I'm sorry. I'm coming right at you. So as I step, we've just come through here. So does everyone have this position understood? Notice that your left hand is pulling silk from your left knee. Your right fist is right in front of your dantian. So the alignment of your elbow is a thrust forward from the back body to the front dantian here. So you can see it's aligned. It's not over here somewhere. So here we are. And we're going to sink our weight, drop our weight. We're going to take a step, reach out, hand is standing fist, and pull down to that side. And as we turn back, we're going to reach the other hand out and step side. And then the left hand, this one, is going to block low, block high. So it's going to come through low to high, while the right hand is going to punch through. And that's not like it's like all these punches. It's not like you're doing this with your shoulder or retracting. It's that you're taking your whole body and turning it so that it's moving off the rib cage. So we are here to here. And this is coming right down in front of the knee. This is block high, this is block low. So doing that again, and if this is repetition, that's good, I think. Okay, so we've just finished, we've just finished this. So we're landing in this position, pulling silk, we're here. aligned. Again, the right fist is aligned with the dantian, not to the side. Drop the weight. Kai Kwa Ko Si. Open the kwa, separate the knees. Step and reach. Pull down, side. Step and reach. Pull down. Punching through or thrusting through while turning at the waist. So notice this pivot here while this is coming through. So you're strongly pivoted, and from that position, which you don't want to hang out in, like your knee is bent, but of course, let me just say this too. When the knee is bent, you don't want to be way out there with the knee. You want to have sufficient length between your body so that when your knee is bent, you're keeping that over the ankle. You're not like somewhere here. We're not interested in hurting knees. And then, because we're strongly turned at the waist, when we pop out, there's this big thrust from the dantian and over the shoulder hit, so that this hit lands right over the knee. So once again, taking it from here, I'm going to step back this time and walk towards you. Relax, open the kwa, separate the knees, step, reach, pull, step, reach, pull. Pivoting at the waist, but keeping the head aligned with the spine, turning the left toe in, hitting the right arm over the right knee. So notice that this hand comes down while that is the left hand comes down while the right hand comes out. And the left toe turns in while this is happening. So it's all one movement. Then, in this very big move, you've got to engage the hamstring here, because we're here and the right toe, I'm going to do it side from this side so you can see it. Can't see it. Okay. It's hard for me to figure out how to do this on the camera. My right toe, I've turned my left toe in, my right foot is here. And I'm going to pick that foot up and move it. In order to pick it up from here and move it, I have to engage the back of the hamstring of my left leg so I can balance in a balanced way, pick it up and move it. In the way that we do all of our moves, we place our foot before we move our weight into it. So we need to place the foot where we want it. And in this case, we're going to the new direction. So we're going to the direction that's opposite of the direction where we were doing the punch series. We turn in and we're hitting to the corner here, the corner, and then we're picking that foot up, stepping it, and now we're 180 degrees from where we were a moment ago for the elbow strike. To get into the elbow strike from here, chest is open, lifted, shoulder blades are back. We hollow the chest, pulling the attention into your back body. And we draw the left arm toward the chest. So you're making like a pocket for your left hand, your left fist to come in towards you. You're turning toward it, it's coming towards you as one coordinated motion. And then you make sure the elbow doesn't stay up like this as you're pulling it in. Keep the elbow dropped, and it's aligning the fist with the rib cage. As you turn away, it jabs down. So from the rib cage. So in other words, what it isn't is like a scissor move. It's not doing this. It's coming in, circling in, and thrusting through from the rib cage. Meanwhile, this arm has come down, the right arm. And so you can see the arms are working in opposition in these circles. And as you turn in, it's down. And then the elbow is going to come up as you turn the waist and thrust backward with the left. And so now your right elbow and your left thrust should make a line. And you can see it strongly as one line. I'm sorry, someone's running a power leaf blower outside. Can you hear it? Okay, good. So does everyone see this position? Notice again, the flex of the leg. The leg is straight up and down. It's not, damaging the knee in any way. The right leg, keep the quad open here so it's not turned in like this. If you see that happening to you, if you feel your weight on the inside of your back foot, you're going to hurt yourself. Open up, make sure the sole of that foot is flat to the ground. And then the last thing I'll say about this, notice the direction of the elbow, that the knuckles, these knuckles are aligned with that. It's not, the hand's not bent or anything like that or torqued. It's straight ahead. So the line is straight down. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to shut a door, hopefully block out some of the noise. Okay, I just data dumped on you guys. Any questions, or shall we just do it a couple times to see what happens?
Oh yeah, 5 times, 10 times.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take it from the turn. I'm going to take it back a step. So we were here. You've all done this movement where you aim for the neck, right? You go in your hand, your fingers are straight because you're aiming right at this point in the neck under the Adam's apple. And you need the thrust of your whole body to travel from your foot all the way through your fingers here. While that's happening, your left hand is dropping down on an arm. So we're here. Now I'm screwed up. Sorry. That's what happens when I try and pick it up in the middle sometimes. Can't even figure out where I am. Here we go. No, screw that. Forget it. I know that'll be really good on the video. The screw that, forget it part. Down. Paint across with the right hand. Left hand comes beside the ear and pushes out. Sink. Pong. New. On. Grab with the fist. Grab a strand of silk here. Punch. That's your G. So picking it up from there. Taking time to change our orientation. Great, Catherine. Or Jill. Okay. Now, turning right. So use the waist turn right. Step, reach, pull down, standing fist. Step, pull down, standing fist. Pivot at the waist. Block high with the left fist. Hit down in front of the knee with the right. Turn the left toe in, hit out over the right knee. Step. Turn towards your left arm as it's coming in and let it thrust from the rib cage while the right elbow is thrusting upward. Okay, we'll do it again. I'm going to do it facing this way, I think. So, paint across, that is, use the palm of the hand and come across. Of course, the elbow point is down, it's not up, and the shoulder's not up. So painting across with the right hand while the left hand comes up beside the ear and it's going to push out. If I had a model here, this would be their nose, and this arm would be coming and going whack right on the nose or the forehead. So we paint across with the right hand as the right foot goes back. The left hand comes beside the ear and pushes. Sink, kai kwa ko si, pong, lu, an, ji. Relax down, turning right. Let the right hand, as you step, come forward, pull down. Turn the body back to the right, pull, and punch. Opening, turn the left toe, hit over the right knee, step, turning towards your hand, and from the rib cage, thrust down as the right elbow thrusts up. Let's do it again. I'm going to face this direction.
Could you actually turn your back to the camera?
Yes, I can. Sure.
Thanks.
I'll start here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. Paint across, flip the right, sweep the right foot, and then the left hand comes out. Relax down as you open the quad, separate the knees, palm, turn right. Make two fists or something along those lines. Turn right, turn left, pull down, turn right, pull down. Turning left, walking high. Turn the left toe in, hit out over the right knee. Reposition the right foot, turn left, make a pocket for your fist, and then thrust up with the elbow. Again, I'll try that again. From here, sink into a china in front of the left quad, then you grab again, and you come forward and you hit out over the right knee. And as you come forward and hit out of the right knee, your left arm drops. So we were here with the elbow strike. We come into China, and the left arm drops, and the right hand comes out, right elbow of right knee. Then we shift to the left, and this is a roundhouse with the fist. So you're aiming as high as the temple here. So we have, this is over the knee, this is a roundhouse, and then so you're pulling your right foot in as your right arm comes into an arm bar. This is an arm bar exercise, but it's in any case, it's the right arm inside, left arm outside. And then the knee comes up as the left fist comes up under a chin, and the right elbow comes down, capturing something between the uplifted knee and the downward motion of the arm. So those pieces of the puzzle, we have the right elbow is up, the left fist is thrust, Jina in front of the left quad, Then we turn to the side where our right leg is. We hit out over that right foot. Then we have this roundhouse motion here. So here we are from the elbow. Bring the left foot with you this time. Step so that your legs are, you can see even here. So I'm going to face you. Now my legs are even. I've got one fist down, one fist up. I'm going to roundhouse, shift my weight left. Right arm on inside, and then as one's high and one's low, the right is high, the left is low. As the right comes down, the left is going to come up under the chin and the right knee is going to come up. And here we are. Which looks like this from the side. Or this from this side. So the coordination of this move is a really fun one to do, obviously. And what I said earlier about the Tai Chi symbol is embedded in all of our moves. You can see it pretty visibly with this move. You see the big circle, and then you're cutting the circle in half here. I have this dream of attaching little light nodes to my fingertips and doing this in the dark and tracing these symbols as they recreate themselves in space. But it's a very interesting feeling to know that your body is physically building that shape shape is so embedded in our movement. And there's a lot more to say about it, but I don't need to do that. So let's go back to where we are. I'm going to start from here. Back to our place where we're going to turn left and then paint across as the right foot moves, left hand beside the ear, pushing out. Sink Kai Kwako Si into the back leg. Weight forward, weight back, turn right. Coming down, make a fist with the right, pull silk with the left. Turning right, turning left, step, pull down. Turning right, step, pull down. Turning left, pivot on this. Now notice one thing here, I think I mentioned it earlier, but notice that the head is still aligned with the spine here. It's not drooping down. I'm not trying to do something crazy here. I want to keep the alignment. Okay? Then turn the left toe in, hit out over the right knee. Reposition that right foot to face the new direction, and here we are with our thrust and elbow. China, grab, hit out over the right knee, step into the left, roundhouse with the left fist, right arm comes up, left arm comes down, and then right knee comes up as we hit with to the chin with the left, down with the right. And the good news is that the next move that comes after this, which we won't try to do today, I don't think, because I don't know if we have time, because we might want to go backward rather than forward. The next move is something you're already familiar with. It's the only time there's really any repetition in this 24-step form. And I'll show it to you, but we don't need to fool around with it, just so you know where this is going. When you're here, you do a little cow forward with the shoulders, meaning body blow with the shoulder and the arm. So this whole surface is a body blow. That means you're really close to your opponent, right? Back. And you bend up at this place. So tell me if you recognize it. And it's a short version, so it just goes straight into the punch. And from there, it's like you're home free, because in a couple more moves, you are done with this form. It's very exciting. So I would like to take it back to where I started today, from here.
Mm. But can you go slow? Very slow.
Yes, I'll go very slow. Does it help for me to speak?
Yes, yes. I mean, for me, yes. Jill, I don't know, but for me, definitely.
I'm nodding yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to take it from here, pushing, and I'll give you the false illusion that I'm pushing this wall away from me. No, just kidding. Wish I could do that. That would be something. Okay, so I'm pushing out, palms open, then release through the fingertips. I'm going to step back, turning right, pivoting on my spine, right? So I'm turning. You can let the. I'm going to move the carpet out of the way here for a second. You can let the pivot happen on the ball of your foot, and you can let the 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 heel on this move actually move. So you can take that heel and just pivot on your left ball of your foot. So here we are. So pivoting, you have a wider turn available to you. But don't have the arm back behind you. Let the elbow stay with the right knee here. Hand up beside the ear. And pivot the other direction. You'll see it better on this side. Notice where the arm is going. It's not going back there somewhere. As soon as you go back there, you're wide open for a strike. You have no power anymore. You have no integrity in your shape. So we're here. From here, chin up on the left side. Hung up with the right arm and out. Grab and pull down. Left hand aligns. This is all aligned on the left side so that your right fist is underneath your elbow here. This is a block. This is a block to an incoming punch. The high hand. Turning right, pull the left foot in. Push out from your center while the left hand pushes back again, only toward as far as the elbow-knee alignment allows. Weight forward, turn the back toe in, pull the right foot in, step back, turn the right foot forward, open the chest, keep the weight back, weight comes forward, right toe in, take one more step back. I'm going to move so you can see me. Now, sink. And as the left hand comes up, let the right elbow drop and push up. So do you recognize this shape from earlier moves? The shape is this. You've seen it even in the second move of the form. This is classic. This comes up as Malcolm was saying, in our language that we're learning. This piece of the alphabet shows up all the time. You're pushing up. The elbow is close to the body here. The palm is underneath. It's pushing up on someone's elbow. So it's got control of the elbow joint of your opponent, if you can imagine that. While the left hand has this shape. And that allows it to grip. It allows it to, without gripping, it allows it to capture a bone of the wrist and pull it. So you can try it on your other arm and just see how your hand in this shape can slide down and it will automatically capture at the wrist. So you've got one hand under the elbow, the other hand at the wrist, and you're pushing that person. You're throwing that person that direction. So in this move, because it shows up over and over again, here it is again. We just finished our repulse monkey and we turn Hong, we're blocking. Lu, we're turning here. We're coming down with that right elbow and pushing up on an elbow and pulling back. We're only going to pull back again as far as this elbow knee alignment. And I can't stress that enough, so that's why I keep saying it. My first Tai Chi teacher before I started with Zhang had a class full of people who had knee injuries because he wasn't really providing enough guidance for how to avoid knee injuries. And the best way to avoid knee injuries is to always keep the knee aligned with the foot and avoid, extreme motion that throws you out of balance. So we've just done this move and we're just going this far, elbow knee, coming back around, right arm under left, again, arm bar. Use the palm of the right inside hand and push out. The left hand comes to the body and drops to the dantian, and we drop the weight 60-40, 60 front, 40 back, not 70-30 or something. And that's because the feet aren't really that far apart. If I were in this position, that would be different, but I'm not. I'm here. So it's a 60-40 split, not a 70-30 split of weight. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Left toe in. Pull the right foot back as you use those fingertips, thrusting off the turn of the waist. Drop the elbows. Lasso around. This is a whack to the neck. It's a fun one. Whack the neck. So you've come into that neck, and now you're coming around and catching it from behind. 1, 2. So we're here. 1, 2. And then down. Weight back. Side. This is an open-handed side. So as we went from one corner to another corner, and I'm not talking north, south, east, west, I'm talking about the corners in between. You're facing a corner. When you finish this move that we just did, we're facing that corner between whatever these two directions are in your house. And sinking, we're going to come back to another corner. So we're going corner to corner to corner. So if you can find those places in your space, in your mind, in your internal alignment, that's what you're looking for here. So from the end of the repulse monkey, we just did the last one. Open the chest. Hollow, fill the lower back. And we come around Pong. Lu, weight shifts to the right. Drop the weight, drop the elbow close, push up with the right palm, down, pull with the left on the wrist. Turn the left toe in, reach out, right arm on the inside, left arm on the outside, and drop the elbow over the right knee, left toe in, pull the right foot back as you come toward the corner with your neck hit, coming around. And now we're facing the next corner here. Weights forward, 60-40. Weight pulls back. Turn the right toe a little bit in, and with open hands, side, pull your left foot in. So you're pretty much in all of your side. I know I'm probably saying too much today, but in all of the sides that you do, you're pretty much sitting into the back leg. I don't know if you know that, whether you're using fists or whether you're using open hands. It's not like you're pulling from your waist. You're not pulling from your arms. What's pulling it is the sitting and opening of the quad to support that. So you're sitting, and you can see that requires the opening here to happen. It requires the tucking here. So this is not a move like that. where the spine becomes misaligned. It's sitting so that you have the ability to even lift a leg so your weight's back. So we side, open hand. So we go from this corner, we're now going to go 90 degrees to that corner. As we cartwheel over, we do a big circle with the left hand, over to the back corner, right arm up, left arm down, and together. So here we are, side. We're going to do this big cartwheel move, turning right first before we turn left, back over to the back corner, right arm up, left arm down, and then they meet in the center. We're not clapping, we're meeting calmly. We don't have to stomp our feet, we can also just make sure everything arrives at the same moment. What you're looking for is wholeness in your movement. You don't want something like that to happen. You want to keep everything moving, all the joints moving with mechanical continuity. So we're here. Step out, left foot. We're going to get into cow. So we're going to use the shoulder. From the shoulder, we're going to add the elbow. And then we're going to add the wrist. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Step in, step out. And then pull back over your left knee while your right hand lands over your right knee. So this pull back lands here. Now, I love the name of this next move. It's not their official name. It's just the name that Jean came up with after a while, or someone did. He said it, so I attribute it to him. Swat the mosquito. Swat the mosquito means this hand, your left hand, swat, blocks, in other words, right next to your nose. So there's like this mosquito buzzing you in the face, and you're swatting it. So we're here. So we turn the back toe in and we swat the mosquito. Okay?
Can you redo that? Can you do again the last two moves?
Yes. Absolutely. We're going to take it from the last repulse monkey. Let me step back here. Sink. Palm with the right arm, blocking, following with the left arm. Lu, on, G, you're pushing up with the right, you're pulling back to your left elbow, knee alignment. And then, I'm sorry, sometimes when I talk so much, it kind of throws me off. But anyway, let's do that again. The left arm extends out and around. The right hand comes from the inside to open up and drop down, weight 60-40, front leg. Back toe turns in, left arm under right. Drop both elbows close to the body, lasso around, hit to the neck with the pinky side of your right hand. Right foot in, right foot steps back, left hand comes forward. Shinman. You guys know the word Shinman? Okay, the Shinman is this part of the wrist hand connection here. And that's a very powerful martial arts place in your body. Wouldn't seem like it, but the Shinman is, just think of this fleshy part underneath the pinky, and you can drop it. See how that mechanically works? If I drop it on something, it will push that something down. And that's part of the basic alphabet. It's embedded in all the movements. You'll see it everywhere. Once you learn it, you'll start seeing it. And that drop drops your opponent. If there was an incoming punch, you could drop, and that would push that in a direction and right on the joint. And just saying, because this is my big opportunity to say it, when you're applying this as a martial art, you want to control two joints of the body. You don't operate on one joint, because if you operate on someone joint, they can just whack you with an elbow or whatever. So, but if you're controlling their elbow and their wrist, they're kind of stuck. So in application, this is a really important component of a joint lock, but it's not the whole thing. So that happens here. As we come around, we pull the right foot in, left arm's behind, we come out, and then we drop the shinman here. You've heard Malcolm talk about delicate ladies' hands. So in all of our movement, we have developed, and we are developing delicate ladies' hands, whether we're men or women, it doesn't matter. The delicate ladies' hands are hands that are not stiff, that can think about moving through water. If you watched a, coral reef, that's how the hand moves. And that means it opens fully. But when it's open fully, even in this motion that we've talked about, it's not stiff. One exercise to do with my class is I push my hands together and ask everyone to stiffen up in this position and feel what it feels like to have stiff hands. Pull them apart and then drop the elbows and see what it feels like to have them stiff, and then relax off of them. Keep the same shape, so visually you don't see a difference, but feel what it feels like to feel stiff, and then feel what it feels like to use your intention to make them not stiff but hold the shape. And so that shape, the openness of your palm, that's very important to find that. Zhang spent years with me, I don't know about anyone else, years with me, like kind of batting me, like, your hands are curled. Like, this would always happen to me. Well, I'm a writer, I'm on the computer all the time. Of course, my hands are curled. No. So these exercises you're doing, this one, really important to this delicate lady's hands. And so you end up with a hand that can flow through the full range of motion without stiffening. That means the wrist circles that you do can flow without stiffening, but you can get the full range. And you want that. You want to feel that you've got not a place where it hitches. For most of us, when we start learning all this stuff, there's a place in that circle that will get hitched up, and it looks more like a D than a circle. There's like a flat line area. So this is a really useful thing to know. And when you do the shinman, it's part of having that flexibility. Notice the fingers straighten. When I do a shinman, my fingers are going to straighten up. There are other hand positions which we don't need to worry about learning today, just to say that there's something called the tile shape, where the fingers are straight, but it creates a tile shape like the top of a rooftop. So you have this curvature. There's the tiger mouth that we talked about. I didn't mention it by name, but the tiger mouth where the thumb is like, clasping. So all of these things are possible once our hands are loose. So whatever you do, this exercise where you're spinning on the wrist and at the elbow without doing something like that, holding a light bulb, spinning around it, that's hugely important for this. I see, Malcolm, you've had a thought about this too.
What's that?
Oh, we were just talking about delicate ladies' hands and how use of the shinman as an application, the dropping of the shinman, is part of this larger world of making the hands responsive and fully functional.
The way I express it is, don't think of your hands as 6 pounds of liver out at the end of your arms. They're very intelligent. They're very articulate, and you have to learn the language. In fact, I can remember when I first saw Master Zhang. I went with a friend to see him, and Linda was probably already there. And one of the things that impressed me right away were his hands, and I realized it's like his hands were speaking in a language, and I didn't know what the language was. I didn't know what those things meant, but I could see how literally articulate his hands were. So what Linda is talking about is absolutely true, right? When you come down on someone's arm, boom, or some part of their body. In fact, I was thinking about it when she was talking about this one right here.
And that's the move that
Boom.
got us started in this conversation.
Yeah. So I just watched a video with Bas Rutten, and if you know MMA, Bas Rutten is now retired, but a very fierce competitor, very strong, very fierce. He's probably in his 60s now or so. But he was talking about exactly that move. Now, he's not a Tai Chi player, but he's talking about exactly that move. And he said, when I take someone out in a match, so these were serious matches, right? So they're really in the ring fighting. He said, I don't usually punch people. What I do is hit them exactly like we're doing here. And they said, what you hit them with is this part of your hand, so exactly what Linda's talking about, especially down by the bone, or actually down on the wrist a little bit. And where you hit them is behind the ear, right here, right? So this movement here looks like you're just slapping someone with your palm, or maybe even slapping with your fingers. But other than gouging him in the eye, you're not really going to accomplish much doing that. What you ought to be doing is exactly what Bas Rutten said. You're using this part of the hand, how can I say behind the ear? It's actually, and sorry, I don't remember the term, but there is a crease between your neck and your skull. That's boom. That's where you hit him, and you have to watch. Yeah, exactly. You have to watch your Dan Chen. Watch. It's not your arm doing it. It's the shifting of the weight and the turning of the daimai that does it. And then the arm is a little bit of a whip crack on top of that. That's exactly what Linda was pointing at, too. Guys, you just got a lot of material. So what you need to do when we turn this off is stay right where you are and practice for 15 minutes and go over in your head all the stuff that Linda just talked about. You're not going to remember it all. Pick a half a dozen things that were most important to you and exercise them a little bit, and then do it again before you go to bed and do it again when you wake up in the morning, and you'll remember it. It's hard to remember everything. This is a cumulative learning process, and it takes a long time because it's a big language. But one of the things you will find, I keep telling you, the more you learn, the more you realize, oh, it's simpler than it looks. At first, it's just overwhelming. There's just all this stuff everywhere. But the more you keep doing this, you realize how things hang together, and that the basic principles of movement cover 100 different examples. So there's actually just one thing you need to know to cover those 100 things. But it takes a while to get to that point. Linda, thank you very much. That was a great session. I learned a lot, and I remembered a lot. This is one of the joys for me of listening to to Linda and Jared and Michael is um, I'm just remembering all kinds of things from things that they've said that I haven't thought about in years, but are really they're very, very good. I was sitting here listening to Linda and realizing, when you learn something, I don't care what it is, music or Tai Chi or probably mathematics, you're going to filter out a lot of it. You're going to accept the stuff that is most meaningful for you, but that means that you're not going to remember everything. So you're going to recreate Tai Chi in a certain way, kind of in your own image. You have no choice except to do that. Everybody does that, and that's why new Tai Chi styles are invented all the time, because it's what Master Feng did. Master Feng created Hunyan based on his own education coming up, but also on what was important for him. So you guys are going to reinvent it based on what's important for you. Just don't forget the fish's belly here. All right, boom.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
hon.
everyone. I really appreciate your being
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah.
That was
Thank
great.
you.
I
Linda
will
will be
work
back
on
on
my,
Linda will be back on Tuesday. All right.
okay. I
Michael
will work on
tomorrow.
my delicate lady hands.
Yes. Yeah. My hands are very, very delicate, of course, too.
Bye,
Thank
See you
you,
later,
everyone.
Linda.
guys.
Thank you very
Ciao.
much.
Thank you.